time for another week in review where I share with you the books I've read for the week. The first book is Batman The Long Halloween, and this is by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Now, I have to admit, I cannot get into Tim Sale's drawing style. I just find it to look really, really strange, and I think that kind of ruined the story for me. But this is early Batman, and it is more of a mystery, and they're trying to find out who the holiday killer is. So it was kind of hard to get into the story. I know a lot of people absolutely love this, but honestly, I only gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I just thought it was okay, and I kind of find the artwork kind of distracting. After that, I read Justice League Dark, Lost in Forever. This is volume 6. And this one, I have to admit, was just so weird. And I think this is the finale for this series. And I really just couldn't get into it because it was so, they talked about different, events going on. Like, the house was trying to take over and merge with another house. I know, yeah, that sounds weird. If you don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, it was basically a 1-star book. I just really couldn't get into this. I would like to pick up some earlier issues of this to see how they are, because I only read one other one, and that one was just okay. I mean, I highly anticipated this series because, I mean, it's like all the magic users and supernatural users combined as a Justice League team. So I thought that was a great concept, but just the books so far I've read have been kind of lacking. Okay, up next we have Teen Titans Volume 1, Blinded by the Light. This is not a new 52. It's kind of like another rebooting of the Teen Titans, but these are the new 52 Teen Titans, so it's kind of awkward to explain this. But yeah, these are the Teen Titans. It's obviously a few years later from the new 52 Teen Titans because Robin is now Red Robin, and you get the meaning. But this is like I said, it's a newer, much later Teen Titans. And these guys, they have a run-in with Star Labs. And Star Labs is kind of like a Stark Industries for the DC Universe. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to sponsor the Teen Titans. Like, they want to work together with them. There's a new, interesting addition to the Teen Titans. Her name is Power Girl, but no, she is not the Power Girl you're thinking of. She's not the Supergirl from a different universe. So, I'm not going to spoil what exactly her origin story is, because it is kind of interesting. I did think this was kind of lame at the very start, but it did kind of slowly grow on me, and I did rate this one 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I was expecting it to be a little bit better because I will admit I did like the new 52 Teen Titans, but it could have been a little better. After that, I read Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man. This is Revival, and this is another Volume 1. Of course, this is a rebooting of The Ultimate Spider-Man, because if you have kept up with The Ultimate Spider-Man, you know that he died. Now this one, they go to a wake, and it's a memoriam. I gotta be careful what I share with you guys, because I don't want to spoil the story. But they go for a memoriam of Peter Parker, and it's all what is Miles, how is he going to be Spider-Man in relation to living in Peter Parker's shadow, and how is he gonna he's got to take on the mantle. And of course there's some hidden backstory with one of the villains. I feel like I can't say too much about this book or share you too much inside this book, because the cover alone just, I think, gives away too much. And you really should, if you are a fan of Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, which I like him. I don't understand why there's so many haters who don't like this new take on Spider-Man. I think he's great. It's a new, fresh character, and it's a new take on Spider-Man. So I really enjoyed him. Although I did not think this book was over-the-top great, I only did rate this 3 out of 5 stars. It did have its moments where it was kind of slow. It is very dialogue-heavy, but it's not the kind of dialogue that it doesn't like mean anything to the story, because every word they're talking about has to do with the story, so it's like very important. But yeah, it was not living up to what I thought or hoped it was going to be, so I only gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. Up next we have All New Ghost Rider Volume 2 Legend. I do have to say that a few people on Goodreads have given this like 4-star ratings, and another friend of mine who's on Goodreads kind of thinks the same thing as I do, that the artwork is really, really bad, and it's kind of distracting to get into the story, because I just don't like this art style. It's kind of like an anime kind of art style, and being a traditional American comics reader, I find it so hard to get into this because of the artwork. This is a new Ghost Rider. This, of course, there is still Johnny Blaze, the original Ghost Rider, and he is featured in this book. But this one is a different type of Ghost Rider. This is Robbie Reyes, and he is a Ghost Rider who is it's his embodiment, like his possessor is a serial killer, a Russian serial killer named Eli Morrow. And it kind of gives him the power. And, of course, instead of riding a bike, he drives a car. So it is slightly different. I have to admit, guys, I really did not enjoy this. I only rated this one 2 out of 5 stars. I really don't think I'm going to be looking out for any more Ghost Rider books, because, especially not All New Ghost Rider, maybe the older ones, but I just couldn't get into this. Okay, up next we have Red Sonja Claw the Devil's Hands. If you're not familiar with who Red Sonja is, she is a creation of Robert E. Howard, and Robert E. Howard is the creator of Conan. I have to admit that this is my first exposure to Red Sonja, and I was kind of hoping for it to be as action-packed as the Conan books. I mean, it did have action in it, but at the same time, and I don't think that this is one of the stories that's based on Robert E. Howard's story. I think this is just one that the comic book creator kind of made up. But, I mean, it was interesting. It was okay to read, so I did rate this one 3 out of 5 stars. Would I read another Red Sonja comic? Sure, I'll give it another try. After that, I read Identity Crisis. If you're not familiar with this one, I kind of already knew what was going on, because this is one of the classic DC storylines that's kind of like famous. Basically what's going on is the Elongated Man's wife has been attacked and killed. They're trying to figure out who had done it. They think they know who did it, but there's revealed this like subplot when they're searching for the killer, and they're all like paranoid that there's a villain out to get their loved ones. So it's kind of interesting, but I didn't think it was that great of a story. I mean, I did think it was okay to read, so I did rate this only 3 out of 5 stars. I know a lot of people absolutely love this story, and I guess for the time it came out, and I guess if you didn't really know how it was going to end, see, I'm not going to tell you anything for those who have no clue about this book. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But the ending was really a big shocker, so I think that's why a lot of people felt so strongly about this book. But having already, it's been years since this book has been out, and since I already kind of knew what was going on, I really just didn't feel like it was that strong of a book, so I only rated it 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Okay, hopefully this video was not too long for you guys. I know I shared quite a few books in this week in review, but I just have 2 more, and the next one is Moon Knight in the Night. This is Volume 3, and I do have to say, compared to the other, I think I may have read 1 or 2 other volumes of Moon Knight, and those were just okay, but this was great. I mean, I really, really like this, and it's written by Cullen Bunn, and he does Southern Bastard, I think, or Southern Bastards, I think is the name of that series. So he's known for writing really dark stuff, and this is a whole side of Moon Knight that I've never seen before. And I actually, honestly, really enjoyed this. It had very minimal dialogue, just enough dialogue so you knew what was going on in the story. And I have to say, I rated this one 4 out of 5 stars. It's worth picking up, and the thing that really sucks is I guess they canceled this series, which I don't understand why, because in all honesty, I thought that was one of the better Moon Knight stories I've read in a very long time. After that, I read Batwoman The Unknowns Volume 6. This is the end of the Batwoman series, which, this is a big turd, and really sucks. It's such a pathetic ending for such a great character, such a great series. I do know that in Volume 5, I was quite disappointed by the ending of that and how that one turned up. They introduced a vampire villain, and I guess Batwoman becomes a vampire, and now this one was just all over the place. It involved them being in space, the Middle Ages, there was magic with Morgan Le Fay, and the Clayface, Ragdoll, or Ragman, or whatever his name is, Red Alice, and Etrigan, the Demon Knight. So this was all over the place. It just... And it ended, it was just like they defeated Morgan Le Fay and she didn't really give up much of a fight, and I was like, that's it? That's how you're going to end this battle you stretched out for so many pages? It was so disappointing that I only rated this one 2 out of 5 stars. I mean, I really thought it was such a shit ending for such a great series and a great character. I don't know why they did it that way. I honestly don't know. But that is my latest week in review. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them down below. Or if you plan on reading any of these books, also, let me know about that too. Thank you for watching, and until next time, later guys.